$10 for lunch always feels like a lot when you're staring at a menu. Now imagine someone paying $3 million for one fish, or a mushroom that costs more than your rent. I'm not making this up. These are real prices, paid by real people for stuff you could technically get a cheap version of at any grocery store. So today, we're counting down the 10 most expensive foods on the planet. We're starting with the merely insane. This is the most expensive spice in the world, and once you see how it's made, the price actually starts to make sense. Every single flower gives you exactly 3 tiny red threads. Not 4, not 10. 3. So to get just 1 pound of saffron, someone has to hand pick around 70,000 flowers at dawn before the sun wilts everything. That's not farming. That's basically an underpaid part-time job with brutal hours. The good news is you barely need any of it. A pinch flavors an entire dish, so even though the sticker price sounds wild, your actual grocery bill barely notices. This might be the one item on the whole list where expensive and reasonable somehow both apply at the same time. Next up, a mushroom nobody can grow, so people just hunt it down like buried treasure instead. Number 8. Matsutake mushrooms. This mushroom flat out refuses to be farmed. No greenhouses, no shortcuts, none of it. It only grows wild, tangled into the roots of very specific pine trees, which means every single one has to be found by hand out in the forest. And here's a fun detail. Foragers guard their picking spots like a family secret. Some of these guys won't even tell their own kids where they find them. For the price of a good matsutake haul, you could buy yourself an actual mushroom-shaped lamp, a nice dinner, and still walk away with cash in your pocket. But none of that comes with the story of eating Japan's rarest fungus at your next dinner party. Chefs will swear the smell alone justifies the price tag. Your bank account will probably disagree. Next one isn't really food anymore. It's basically jewelry that happens to be edible. Number 7. Edible gold dessert. At some point, somebody looked at a regular sundae and thought, this is way too affordable. That's basically the origin story of a dessert served in New York called the frozen oat chocolate. It's made with rare cocoa, dusted with edible gold, and served in a cup lined with an actual gold and diamond bracelet, which, yes, you get to keep afterward. Here's the part that'll bother you. Gold flakes have zero taste. None. They pass straight through your body completely undigested. So you're paying around $25,000 to eat something that does absolutely nothing for you, nutritionally or flavor-wise. You're not buying dessert at that point. You're buying jewelry with a chocolate coupon stapled to it. Next one's an actual fruit that costs more than most people's rent. Number 6. Densuki watermelon. This watermelon has a solid black rind, no stripes, nothing. It genuinely looks like it belongs behind glass, in a museum, not sitting on a fruit stand. It only grows on one island in Japan, and only a few thousand are produced every single year. Farmers obsess over every detail, from sunlight exposure to the exact angle the melon sits at while it's growing. A regular watermelon runs you maybe $6 or $8. This one has sold for over $6,000, which is roughly the price of a decent used car, just to eat fruit. People who've actually tried it say the taste is genuinely excellent. But let's be honest, you're mostly paying for the bragging rights and the photo you get to post afterward. Speaking of bragging rights, Japan does this exact thing again, except somehow even more extra. Number 5. Yubari King melons. Every June, this small Japanese town holds an auction for melons, like it's the Super Bowl. The secret is that each plant is only allowed to grow one single melon. Every bit of that plant's energy goes into just one fruit, which is why they come out so sweet and so perfectly round. If you're a regular shopper, you can grab one for around $50 to $100. Still pricey, but nothing crazy. But the auction winner isn't really buying a melon. A pair has sold for over $27,000, because what they're actually buying is a headline. It's a marketing stunt wearing fruit as a disguise, and honestly, it works. This tiny town gets global news coverage every single year over cantaloupes. Next one turns a regular steak dinner into an actual status symbol. Number 4. Kobe beef. Rich people looked at a normal steak and once again decided it was too affordable. Real Kobe beef comes from one specific breed of cattle, raised in one specific region of Japan, under rules so strict that most beef labeled Kobe outside of Japan doesn't even legally qualify. These cows genuinely live better than a lot of people. Careful diets, low-stress environments, plenty of space. All of that goes into producing that famous marbling, thin streaks of fat running through the meat that basically melt the second they hit your mouth. A regular grocery store steak might cost you $15. This one runs anywhere from $200 to $500 a pound, which is closer to an entire paycheck. But here's the twist. This might be the one item on the entire list where the price actually matches the experience. The texture really is different. Next one is fish eggs that took 60 years to make, literally 60 years. Number 3. Almas caviar. Almas means diamond, and honestly, the name fits. This caviar comes from an extremely rare albino sturgeon that takes over 60 years just to mature enough to produce eggs. 60 years. Most of us don't commit to anything for 60 years, let alone a fish. It's traditionally sold in a 24-karat gold tin, because at this price point, why wouldn't it be? Regular caviar at the store might cost you $20 to $100 a jar. This runs around $11,000 a pound, which is basically an entire fortune served with a tiny spoon. People who've tasted it describe it as unbelievably smooth and buttery. But be honest with yourself, you're also paying for the 60-year wait and the gold container it comes in. Next one caused an actual international bidding war over a fungus that grows in dirt. Number 2. White truffles. These can't be farmed at all, not even a little. Specially trained dogs sniff them out underground, near the roots of very specific trees, during one short season each year. No greenhouses, no shortcuts, no faking it. At one charity auction, a single truffle weighing over 3 pounds sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. For a fungus, chefs use just a few grams per dish because the smell alone is strong enough to fill an entire room. And honestly, the flavor genuinely lives up to the hype, according to basically every chef who's worked with it. The record-breaking auction price, though, that's just pure ego with a napkin tucked into it. Now, everything up to this point was really just the warm-up. Number 1 made headlines around the world, sparked actual outrage, and it's all about a single fish. Number 1, bluefin tuna. January 2019, Tokyo. A 612-pound bluefin tuna gets pulled into the year's first big auction at the Toyosu fish market. Final price, $3.1 million. For one fish. The buyer owns a sushi restaurant chain, and he basically does this every single year. Because at this point, the headlines are worth way more to his business than the fish itself. A regular tuna meal at your local sushi spot might cost you $10, maybe $30. This one fish cost about the same as a private jet. And within a few hours, it was cut up, plated, and served to customers. Gone. Just like that. Even seafood experts will tell you straight up, this isn't really about flavor anymore. It's marketing, dressed up as raw fish. Some people collect watches. Some people collect cars. The richest people on Earth apparently just collect meals. A fish worth more than a house.